I met a gypsy.
Like, I wouldn't say completely different stuff, but he likes his bike a lot stiffer than I do, and like in different areas. Like, and then me and Trey are very similar, but obviously Trey has got to help develop a bike more towards Joe's liking.
Yeah.
So
just because he spent more time doing that because he was West Coast and riding.
Exactly. And then Trey's, dude, he's mixed in with the stuff he's doing for Japan, the stuff he's doing for the 450 team. Like, I don't know how Trey does it.
He's busy.
He's busy.
Yeah.
But
wait, isn't he the best dude too?
Trey is the absolute best guy I've ever been around.
Bro.
I love Trey. And dude, I've actually talked to Trey quite a bit, just of like on the mental side. Like, Trey's gone through some shit, you know?
Dude.
And dude, he's such a good guy, such a positive guy. And it's like the days that like I struggle at the track or like struggle at the races, and he can just visually tell I'm upset. He's like, dude, like it's coming, dude. Like, just keep believing in yourself. Like, you're there. Like, he's like, we all believe in you. I believe in you. Just keep going. And like, once again, that's a guy that I grew up watching, that I was a big fan of, you know, just for somebody to like, now it's like, it's a full circle experience now. Like, he's
a fan of you.
He's in my
your
corner,
yeah.
you know, like that's such a special thing to me. And it's such a cool feeling. And, you know, it gives you that confidence. It's like, this guy has won titles. He's a badass, you know, and super well respected in the sport. Everyone loves Trey. And he's telling me he believes in me and he has confidence in me that I can go and win championships. Like, dude, it's huge, that erases everything in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially when like I said, I had that much respect for Trey and just the love I have for Trey. Like, dude, he's just such a badass dude.
And then there's there's levels of respect that you would have had for him before you met him.
Exactly.
And then you meet him and he's way cooler and better than you could have even imagined.
Always.
And then at the end, you're just like, this is literally the best dude.
Absolutely. And dude, even just the relationship that I've built with him over testing.
Yeah.
You know, he helped me a lot with testing when I was first on the team. When I was doing a lot of when I was factory connection and the team was factory Showa, like, he'd help me with my testing and help me with directions there. And I'm still learning quite a bit. I was only 16 when I first got on the team. So it was really cool. He was super nice to me when we did that. And then we raced Mammoth together in 22. He smoked me.
That's so good.
But dude, like, even this last year, like, we've done a lot of testing, and we spent days out there, out at the farm, just testing. And, you know, he's out there with me. He's doing 250 stuff. He's doing 450 stuff. He's going between me and Joe. He's going between Jet and Hunter. Like, the man's doing it all of it. But dude, he just is. We go out there and like I test something and come back and I explain it first, and then he explains his side of it, and it's similar, but Trey can go more in depth with what I'm feeling, because obviously that's his job. He's done it for so long. He knows how to go in depth and explain it a little bit better. But it's helped me learn so much about the bike and learn how to translate this stuff to the crew. And I think ultimately over time, that relationship between me, Trey, the suspension guys, and our new suspension guy, Brandon, he started this year, Brandon Shar, dude, he's a legend. Love the guy. And he's just, me and him work together amazing. And then Shane Drew is our crew chief now. It's like this circle that we have, it's amazing. Like, we've all been working so good together. And we all believe in each other. Like, it's Shane Drew believes in me. You know, Brandon believes in me. Trey believes in me. So when the three of us are sitting there, you know, trying to develop this thing, and
because it's problem solving, right?
Exactly. And that's honestly, like, those days I love, you know, like, people hear, a lot of people dread testing, you know. It's like, I've always been the guy that loved the technical side of racing, growing up in the dealership.
Because you grew up working on bikes,
exactly,
and doing your own thing and seeing, like, you were born into that world.
Exactly. So I have the not that other riders don't have the appreciation for it, but like, I have the appreciation level of it, just spending so many hours in developing something. And even if you develop something, it's good one week and then it feels like shit the next week, you go back and you keep working on it. You know, like, they're always working on stuff that can be better, you know, and then I'm trying to get myself better as a bike. So between me, myself, the rider, and then the bike, mixing those together, like, dude, you're always trying to be better no matter what. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about this sport. And like, honestly, that's what I've really enjoyed about working with this team.
Because you have like maybe the best team for that, you know, like
Absolutely.
HRC is famous for having just unlimited resources when it comes to working on motorcycles.
Absolutely. And it's a little bit different being on the 250 side because HRC is pretty heavily invested in the 450 side. So we do get a lot for the 250 side, but it's not like there's still a lot of time invested in the 250 side, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite like the 450 side on Japan's perspective.
Yeah.
But they're still heavily invested in the 250 side. So that part of it's really cool.
So how much can you get done in 2 days of testing before Tampa on a brand new motorcycle?
So I guess, yeah, let's get back to that.
Not a lot, I'm guessing.
I guess let me finish my story though.
Yeah, sorry.
So Saturday before Tampa,
Yeah.
go out and ride Supercross. I think I'm the only one riding actually because I got cleared to ride that week. So
Oh, and all the boys were racing.
all the boys, well, Seth and Drew. I guess Drew would have raced A2. So Seth was there. It's a couple of the amateur guys that were there. They were sitting there watching. Burners out there with me. I remember I did my first 15 lap moto, and my heart rate's like 210, but I had no arm pump, nothing. I was just digging the whole time.
That's sick.
Came off the track, almost passed out. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, it's the first like legit moto I've done since I don't know outdoors.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So Burner's like, dude, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm out of breath, but these things feel awesome, so I think I can work with this.
Dude, that must have been the biggest relief.
It was amazing. And I remember I was just clicking off fast times after fast times after fast times. You know, and like obviously I'm hurting, but I can hang on to my bike. So I'm like, I can take the heavy breathing. As long as I can hang on to my bike, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was that Saturday. Took Sunday off. Monday, the team's getting there. Bikes getting there, parts getting there. So Tuesday, Wednesday are my 2 test days. Sun up to dark. And
Really?
we started at 9 o'clock. Didn't get done till this would have been before daylight savings or whatever. So we got done at like 5:30 is when it was getting dark there. So, dude, just all day testing.
So where do you start?
So it just depends on what area you're kind of struggling with. So
we'll paint a picture for the listener that's never seen a full test day like that. So you've got a bike that you're riding.
Yep.
Do they bring you a new bike as like a test bike, and then you're like, okay, ride this. This is where we think you should be, or do you start with the bike you've already been riding?
So generally, what we do, sometimes they'll send a brand new test bike out, and you'll start fresh. Or the bike that I had at the time didn't have a lot of time on it because obviously I hadn't been riding. But for the people out there, you don't want to start testing on a bike that has 15 hours on everything or 20 hours on everything. Like the frame stretches, everything wears. So you're not getting the right height, the right reading from the height of the sag. You're not getting the right feeling of it when you're out on the track because everything just gradually over time stretches and it sits different. So the bike that I had probably only had like 5 hours on it. So I mean, it's next to brand new. It's at least broken in. So in that scenario, they'll just send a new set of suspension, whatever's on it, just a new base setting. So you start out, you go out, do, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, break the track in, break this bike in, and then kind of the team comes with a bunch of ideas, and essentially you start from let's go down the front end path and let's go visit some couple things and we'll go from there. So my initial thing that I was really struggling with on this bike is the cornering. I felt like I'd get into the bowl corners and I'd get like you'd load the front end coming into a corner, and as soon as you'd start climbing into the bowl, like it would get really high.
And when like unweight and push away.
Exactly. So when the weight would come off the forks, it just wants to just keep climbing, keep going straight. Where last year's bike cornered really tight, cornered really good. Like you could put that thing in any rut, corner it, no problem. But when you took it outdoors, just straight line stability wasn't as stable as the new bike. So it's kind of like old bike cornered really good, stability not the greatest, where now it's flip-flop. It's like cornering, it's like all right, and stability is really good. So,
and it's very hard to have both at the same time.
Exactly. Like we're trying to make the perfect bike here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You know?
Yeah.
So this is where, things start getting tricky though, because you're trying to get a bike that corners right, but so you're trying to go softer, but you need a bike that's going to be able to hold up through the rhythms, through the whoops. Because if you get a bike that's too soft in the whoops, you hit one whoop and the front end compresses way too far, then when it unloads, it goes kind of straight up, and then the rear hits, and then the front end drops again. Instead of when you hit whoops, you watch any of the pros. I mean, Cole's probably the best guy to watch. He gets up on top, and it doesn't even look like his bike's even moving, but he's just kind of going across the top like this. Where if your bike's too soft on the forks, and then say your forks are too soft, and then your shock's too stiff, like you hit the fork and it gets really low, then it unloads, and then your shock hits, and it doesn't even like go through the stroke, and it just drops the front again. So you're not getting any drive, you're not getting any forward momentum through the whoops. So that's when that's when the struggle comes in. You're trying to find the balance. So you stiffen it back up. It's good in the whoops, then you get to the corner and you're just going straight off the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you get into a rhythm and it's like you're trying to soften up for the rhythms, but then you get into a rhythm and it kind of goes through the stroke, and then it unloads a little bit weird off the lip. So then your front end eye, or you get a little kick from the rear because the rear's squatting and then unloading up the lip. And it's a constant, it's
just that push pull the whole time.
Exactly. And like we fought that for a couple days, and I never was really like happy with it going into Tampa. I think what we ended on was the best that we ended on for the circumstance being dealt. And we also knew going in, like, we're just here to race.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.